fucking fuming! Mega fucking fuming!
I spent my Friday watching an absolute classic from my childhood, Batman Begins. What I realized as I got into this great movie is the truth I know now, that Batman Begins is an underrated, unspoken masterpiece. I'll give you some background on how I got to this conclusion. I hadn't watched Batman Begins in a couple years. Instead, I would repeatedly rewatch The Dark Knight over the years, generally feeling it was far superior to Batman Begins. I rated Batman Begins a 9.3, Dark Knight a 9.8, and The Dark Knight Rises a 9.3 as well. However, having rewatched the trilogy in full now, I can confidently say that I have my definitive ranking. So let's get into my ranking. The Dark Knight has received a small boost and is now a 9.9 out of 10 and is in my top 10 list on IMDb, link in the description. However, most impressively, and this basically never happens with me, Batman Begins went from a 9.3 to a 9.7 and is now in my top 25 greatest films of all time, a list where you can find my most loved films and oftentimes little separates them from each other. Now, in my 6th video essay, I hope to do my best to convince you that Batman Begins is indeed an unspoken masterpiece, worthy of a far greater critical response than the 84% it holds on Rotten Tomatoes. As always, sit back, relax, and enjoy my analysis of Christopher Nolan's 2005 masterpiece, Batman Begins. The brilliance of Batman Begins stems from its origin. Batman Begins did the seemingly impossible at the time and brought Batman back to the silver screen after a decades-long hiatus and told a serious and gritty Batman story without falling prey to the comical excesses of the original films. In fact, Batman Begins isn't the least bit comical. It's classic. Batman Begins, in everything from its cinematography, to its screenplay, to its world building, feels like a classic movie in the best way, grounded in reality, all while telling a fantastical story familiar in our culture and generation. On the topic of classic world building and cinematography, Batman Begins creates the best blend of the source material and reality in Gotham. The city is dark, dangerous, and dirty. I liken the skill Nolan shoots and styles Gotham City to Fincher's City in Seven, which has received great acclaim from critics and audiences alike. In short, the brilliance of Batman Begins lies in its cinematography, screenplay, and world building, and how the characters fit into that world. Take this scene from Carmine Falcone, who consistently is characterized by Nolan as streetwise and gritty, rather than a cartoonish imitation of an archetypal mobster, or even worse, a stereotypical villain played for laughs. Take a look at this scene to see how characters like Falcone work to make Batman Begins brilliant. Look how Carmine Falcone embodies the toughness and fall of Gotham City.
You're taller than you look in the tabloids, Mr. Wayne. No gun. I'm insulted. You could have just sent a thank you note.
I didn't come here to thank you. I came here to show you that not everyone at Gotham's afraid of you.
Only those who know me, kid. Look around you. You'll see 2 councilmen, a union official, a couple off-duty cops, and a judge. Now, I wouldn't have a second's hesitation in blowing your head off right here and right now in front of them. Now, that's power you can't buy. That's the power of fear.
I'm not afraid of you.
Because you think you got nothing to lose. But you haven't thought it through. You haven't thought about your lady friend down in the DA's office. You haven't thought about your old butler. Bang! People from your world have so much to lose. Now you think, because your mommy and your daddy got shot, you know about the ugly side of life, but you don't. You've never tasted desperate. You're Bruce Wayne, the Prince of Gotham. You'd have to go 1,000 miles to meet someone who didn't know your name. So don't come down here with your anger, trying to prove something to yourself. This is a world you never understand, and you always fear. What you don't understand Yeah, you got spirit, kid, I'll give you that. More than your old man, anyway. In the joint, Chill told me about the night he killed your parents. He said your father begged for mercy. Begged. Like a dog.
Should have better. For what?
Your jacket?
Okay. Let me have it some nice coat.
On a side note, this homeless guy is somewhat of a legend on this channel, as he appears in many small roles from some of my favorite movies. The first is Eyes Wide Shut. He's the costume salesman that Bill buys his mask from. To me, I bet Nolan put this actor in this movie as a homage to his favorite director, Stanley Kubrick. Speaking of Eyes Wide Shut connections, Wayne Manor from Batman Begins is the mansion from Eyes Wide Shut. Other than Eyes Wide Shut, he played the minor role of Grigorovich, who reveals to Lord Voldemort that Grindelwald was the one who stole the Elder Wand from him in Deathly Hallows Part 1. Also, one final Easter egg for all my Game of Thrones fans out there, this kid grows into this twat. Moving on from that pretty long side note, the next factor that makes Batman Begins a masterpiece is role models. Let's take Ra's al Ghul for example. From him, Bruce learns to control his emotions and hone his abilities as a fighter, but cannot accept the dark set of principles the League of Shadows adheres to, and escapes from their grip, but saves Ra's al Ghul in the process. This mercy, of course, was exactly what Ra's al Ghul warned Batman of.
The courage to do what is necessary.
Coming back to haunt him in the finale. One of the many signs of a tight screenplay.
It's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
Bruce?
Let me have it some nice coat.
Nice coat.
Thanks.
When Bruce saves Ra's al Ghul, we see Bruce grew to have some affection for him, likely of a fatherly nature, for helping him ground himself in justice over revenge. Ra's al Ghul turns into Bruce's enemy in the finale, but Bruce tries to negotiate with him and doesn't give up on him, like he doesn't give up on Gotham. Ra's doesn't put Bruce out of his misery, once again proving that mercy becomes the downfall of otherwise great men in this movie.
A cynical man would call what these people have lives, Wayne. Crime, despair. This is not how man was supposed to live. The League of Shadows has been a check against human corruption for thousands of years. We sacked Rome, loaded trade ships with plague rats, burned London to the ground. Every time a civilization reaches the pinnacle of its decadence, we return to restore the balance.
Gotham isn't beyond saving. Give me more time. There are good people here.
You are defending a city so corrupt we have infiltrated every level of its infrastructure.
The second role model is Alfred, who is played by an absolute legend, like Liam Neeson. Michael Caine's Alfred is anything but just a butler, frequently balancing Bruce's impulses and ego, and helping keeping him grounded in humility and respect for tradition and family honor. Alfred is such a goat in this movie, he rushes into a burning manor to save Bruce and gives him hope to fight on all at once in a truly epic scene that has stuck with me since childhood.
I hope you're not a member of the fire brigade.
Master Wayne!
What is the point of all those push-ups if you can't even lift a bloody log? bricks and mortars.
I wanted to save Gotham. I failed.
Why do we force? So that we can learn to pick ourselves up.
You still haven't given up on me.
Never.
Although I could go on for hours about why this movie is a masterpiece, I don't have a podcast anymore to do that. So now I'd like to conclude with the final aspects of Batman Begins that are truly amazing. However, first I want to show you a clip from The Critical Drinker that inspired me to make this video.
Honestly, when I think about the Dark Knight trilogy as a whole, and the crazy amount of praise that's been heaped on it, it really does remind me of Craig and his mates from my charming anecdote at the start. Two mediocre hangers-on, resting on the reputation of one really solid movie that elevates the others to a status they don't particularly deserve. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
No matter how much I love The Critical Drinker and his videos, I think this is total crap. Batman Begins is a complexly written screenplay with an element of classic filmmaking that you just can't shake off, filled with badass legends like Liam Neeson and great actors like Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine, all while being held together by a great performance by Christian Bale, who plays a Batman who fights crime in some of the most epic scenes put to film. And who can forget the awesome one-liners?
I may need your help.
What do you need?
Can you drive stick?
Batman Begins teases the central themes of The Dark Knight throughout.
You finally learn to do what is necessary. I won't kill you. But I don't have to save you.
All ending with one of the greatest sequel teasers of all time.
Nice.
I couldn't find any mob bosses.
Well, Sergeant.
Oh, it's Lieutenant now. You really started something. Bent cops running scared. Hope on the streets.
But
The Narrows is lost. I still haven't picked up Crane or half the inmates of Arkham that he freed.
we will. We can bring Gotham back.
What about escalation?
Escalation.
We start carrying semi-automatics, they buy automatics. We start wearing Kevlar, they buy armor-piercing rounds. And you're wearing a mask, jumping off rooftops. Now take this guy. Armed robbery, double homicide, got a taste for the theatrical like you, leaves a calling card.
I'll look into it.
I never said thank you.
And you'll never have to.